My name is Colm Buckley. I'm the Managing Director of a company called the People Group. We're based in the Grand Canal area of Dublin. We were established in 1989, although I have not been there since then. I joined the company in 2003. I spent 16 years in working for 3 different banks, so financial services. We specialise in the areas of sales, marketing and commercial management. And we have a wonderful team of 10 talented people who operate with companies both domestically and internationally. You know, I think languages are becoming more and more important as we deal with an ever digitized economy and business world. You know, I think the area of soft skills is critical within companies more and more. So what better people than language graduates who not only understand languages but the cultural differences and I would presume have a curiosity about communication across different cultures. What better people to deal with that? There are countless stories that we have over the years of people using their languages in all sorts of weird and wonderful ways. My own experience, even back in 1997, I helped to establish a bank in Dublin in Ireland, MBNA, a credit card company that came over from the US, and we had to translate that to Ireland, which had differences from the US market. MBNA then obviously is now Avantcard, as people will know. In 2000, MBNA started to look at the Spanish market, and I had a number of colleagues who happened to be Spanish speakers, and they jumped on that bus and went off to Madrid, and their careers accelerated at a pace. So they wouldn't necessarily have anticipated that joining a US bank, that they would end up using their language skills. There are countless other stories. I know somebody that worked for a national airline, and when a German native joined as the CEO, he used to spend a half hour each week talking German with this chap, and that helped his career immensely. So there are countless stories of how languages can be used. From a practical level, what are we seeing? I mean, more and more companies, I suppose, as they recover from the pandemic and as they look to the global stage and the global digitized stage, they are expanding into more and more countries. And you know, from a practical perspective, that needs an advanced team of sales and marketing people who have ideally the languages of some of those countries that they're trying to break into. And not only the language, but understand the cultural differences and nuances, and can help get that company on a sound footing. You know, I think more and more in this globalized local world that we're in, I think having a language or having multiple languages and consequently an understanding of different cultures is critical within the working environment. You come out of your cave 10,000 years ago and there's a chap standing in front of you in a loincloth with a large club, and you want to know, is he going to kill you, or does he want to be your friend? So there's a very basic level of communication and language established, and between the grunts you establish that he's not going to kill you. So then you want to know, how good is he with the club? So you want to know, how competent is he with the club? And you know, they're the 2 basic parts of establishing any relationship. You know, warmth or trust and competence. And I think in the increasingly digitized world, people are more concerned, and certainly younger people coming up now are more concerned to tell you how competent they are, how good they are at marketing, or how good they are at sales. When in the first instance, there needs to be a level of trust, there needs to be a warmth, there needs to be, how are you, and what do you do, and how can I help you? So I think those soft skills are critical. And unfortunately in our education system as well, the Leaving Cert, I was only talking to my 18-year-old daughter who's doing her Leaving Cert this year about soft skills, and it's all about points. It's not necessarily about communication or how to establish relationships and how to build strong relationships. And that's critical within any job that involves human beings or teams. And particularly, look at this city, look at the cross-cultural, multicultural teams that we have in many, many companies. So critical, language and communication skills. Even taking on a module of a language, I think that has got to evoke a curiosity about that language, about that country, about that culture. And I think all of these things only enhance you personally and individually in your own self-development, but within a working context. It's just, I think it's so ironic when I think of all the stories that we have. It's so ironic how that comes around to serve you at a certain stage of your career, you know. But I suppose in terms of self-fulfillment and self-development, which can indirectly help you within your role, you know, or your relationships, I think absolutely wonderful, you know, to have some element of a language. I have to admit, you know, I'm one of those Irish people that goes skiing to Austria and has no German, and goes skiing to France and has, you know, small bits of French, and it is a massive regret. You feel so trapped in not being able to communicate with people, you know. So I think, absolutely, I think it's essential. More and more, you know, when you look at this city and walking through Trinity today and thinking about this, there are so many different languages being spoken in Dublin now. The Grand Canal area, I walked out one Friday night and I walked down the road. I heard Spanish, I heard French. I think I walked for about half a mile and I didn't hear English at all. So isn't that wonderful? And, you know, we should have a curiosity about those cultures and those languages.